Hey y'all, how you doing? Listen, can you say happy MLK Day? All right now. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's take a moment to memorialize, remember, and appreciate. Never forget to celebrate the great man, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Um, he made the ultimate sacrifice for us, and I am grateful. Because of him, we are better, although, you know, we don't know the full story about so many things, which I'm not going to get into. I had to mention it though, because that's me. But today I celebrate and recognize all that he did to move this country forward. Having said that, I also want to say welcome if it's your first time here. And if you are returning, I want to say welcome back, family. I'm so happy you're here. Happy to see you. We just breathe. Here in the Northeast, we're experiencing a winter wonderland or snow. And for those who love it, it's a great thing. For those not so much, not so much. Any who's and any hows. That is not why I'm here today. I'm here today to say wonderfully me is happy to share information and to give a good look. I'm appreciating myself today because I love color. I really love color, and uh, as you can see, as you've seen probably in a variety of videos that I've done, if you've watched any, because I have like over 200 up there. I do. But yeah, I tend to have colorful glasses, colorful headwear, or colorful clothing. I am that girly that likes, all things color. So, anyhow, today I wanted to talk to you about. I know I talked about so many other things. That's what I do. I digress. Listen, if you've watched it in my videos, you know I digress. This thing called fibro fog is real. So even when I have like things in my mind, like in an orderly fashion that I want to talk about, I somehow seem to get off track a little bit. So please forgive me for that. This channel is about me talking about my travel experiences, the things I've learned, and things I wouldn't do again or I do differently or whatever, but all things travel. Right now I'm focusing on cruise stuff that I've been doing, and it's also kind of giving some light, shedding some light on what life is like when you have a chronic illness. So, at the behest of one of my dearest friends, okay, like my bestie, I have two, but of the bestie who I see on a daily, um, I have tried to look a little bit more put together. So I did a little eyebrow. Do y'all see? I did a little bit of eyebrow. Yeah, and a little eyeliner. Yes. So I feel like, I know that when you look better, you feel better. And even though every day is some pain, but as my mother always says, thank God every day ain't the same. Okay? So, anywho's and anyhows, I just wanted to remind you that this channel, I, sometimes get a little caught up in like in my head, and so I know, I'm sorry. I can't help with this hood. I love a hood. I think I said that before. I love a hood. And yeah, I was trying to get that right. Sorry. Again, I digress. This channel, this day, I just wanted to talk about the most recent thing that someone asked me with regard to travel. So, uh, one of my dear sorors, happy Founders Day, y'all. One of my dear sorors messaged me because she had a friend who wanted to go to the Seychelles. And if you don't know, the Seychelles is an archipelago of islands um, that's off the east coast of Africa. And it's like beautiful tropical, you know, brilliant blue waters and white sand beaches, and it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. So anyway, they wanted to fly Qatar because everybody knows Qatar is my favorite. And when she came to visit me in Tanzania, uh, my soror line sister, she flew Qatar because I told her that's my favorite airline. So she was like, "Oh well, I want to fly Qatar too." And having flown Qatar, she was like, "This was an elevated experience." So she wanted to help her friend who was going to the Seychelles, wanted to go to the Seychelles, and like kind of where to start looking for tickets and kind of get ideas. So I want to tell you guys, ladies, girlies, I wanted to tell all of you how I look for tickets because that's what I told them. So basically, my number one go-to is Skyscanner. Skyscanner usually gives me so much information about what other airlines are charging. So you go to one website and you're able to look at more than just what you see when you go to a in particular airlines website, right? So I said, yeah, that's my number one go-to, but I don't stop there. I do look to see what the going rate is with different airlines because I know that there's some that I will fly and some that I won't. And I think I've said it before, I don't particularly care for Kenya Airlines. I just don't. I didn't have good experiences when I've flown with them, and that's just where I am. Where on the other hand, every Qatar experience was chef's kiss, impeccable. It was great. So this person wants to fly Qatar, so first thing I did, of course, was double check. Does Qatar fly to the Seychelles? And they absolutely do. So that is a wonderful, way for them to get to this, wonderful spot in the Indian Ocean, right? So I looked it up and found out they go there, and then like I said, went to Skyscanner just to see like what the going rate was. So of course it depends on when you go, what class you fly, if you fly in economy or you fly in, business class or first class or whatever. For those who got it like that, I ain't mad. And they even offer like a premium economy. So on certain airlines. So, you have a variety of ways that you can go if, you go with the way that fits your pocketbook. So I said, check Skyscanner. I also look at Google Flights. I also check the regular like Expedia, Travelocity kind of thing, Priceline, Hotwire, whatever. I'm going to look at a variety of websites because I want to make sure that I'm getting the best deal. And different websites carry different travel like agencies, travel providers, like not the airline, but like for example, there's like a company called like Just Fly and Kiwi.com and Trip.com, Booking.com. These are not the airlines, but they are like brokers, I guess, for the airlines, right? So you can get different offers if you go to different sites, right? So this is the reason why I shop around, because I want to get the most bang for my buck. Okay, as I've discussed before, I am always 123% always a budget traveler. And I just want to make sure that, I'm stretching as far as I can, right? Okay. Any who's and any hows. So, provide them with that information, which I was happy to do. And I really wish you guys would like put a little something in the chat, down below. Like, let me know like where you want to go, and we can talk about how much it should cost or what you should do and what plans you should make. Now, I'm not saying I am an expert, but I know some things. I know some things, okay? I have been to about 60-ish countries. I don't know, 58, 62, I don't know, somewhere in there. Uh, I've been to a lot of places and I've done a lot of things. And so these experiences have given me some, like, a little bit of knowledge and wisdom and experience, right? So yeah, I'm more than happy to share what I do know, and even to take a learning journey with you if necessary, because yeah, I'm always, wanting to know more and wanting to grow. I'm having boat issues. Like, I feel like we looking a little, I don't know. But anywho, and anyhow, I'm extra. I'm always extra. So yeah. So if you have any questions about like some place you want to go or something you want to do that it's just like on your bucket list and you've had it in your heart and on your mind and you're interested, I'm just saying, hit a sister up. I mean, like, I got time usually. No, I have time. I do have time, and I look forward to those things. Like, I'm like all of my friends and families, like travel agent. Because I don't get paid for it, but I do like looking. I am one of the people who I love a bargain, even if it's me getting it or somebody I know getting it. I love a bargain, and if I can be part of a bargain, then oh yeah. So yeah, I think when I looked at the fares for um Seychelles, coming from the East Coast. I think I looked at coming out of New York and coming out of DC. I think, yeah, coming out of DC, because I wasn't exactly sure how they were going to do it. But yeah, I found fares that were roughly $1,000 to $1,200, which is typical, like when you're going to an African country. Although I do recall pre-COVID, I recall that um, I could fly from New York to Nairobi round trip for like $700. $700. So the price increase is huge, 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 huge. Occasionally, I run across a fare getting to East Africa because I haven't been to West Africa yet. But occasionally, I run across a fare going to East Africa that's in the nines. Occasionally. But nowadays, I mean, you got to pay for everything, right? And that was one of the things that I did say, that even though I tend to check all of these places to see what the going rates are on other airlines, because I typically end up going with Qatar. I like to just be able to, budget and see how things go. But I brain fog. Wait a minute. Oh, I book with. I crack me up. I book with Qatar usually because I want to do the whole buy your seat if I have to, which I typically have to buy my seat, and I want to know that I have my bags included and all. I don't want to have to book it through this one. I mean, if it was like a major discount, yeah, I would do it, but I don't usually want to book with this one and then have to still go to the website, right? Or use their app, because they do have an app. Yeah, so I almost, I would say 90% of the time, I ultimately end up booking with Qatar directly. So, and it's good because then you get your little points, and you know what the seat configurations are on the different planes that you're gonna be on, and I just feel like I feel very comfortable. But I gotta get a bargain, and there's some for a few $100s. Like, for example, if the Qatar flight was $1,500 and Ethiopian Airlines would get me there for $1,100, that's a no-brainer. okay? Because I could take an extra bag and pay for my seats with the savings. You see what I'm saying? Like it just benefits me and anybody else that I'm trying to assist, right? So yeah, I definitely am not crazy, but I do love Qatar. And Ethiopian Airlines did not do me wrong. I've flown them a couple of times and it never did me wrong. Just like Emirates, I love Emirates. It's just that Qatar just happens to be my fave. That's it. And I've never gone from the East Coast into Europe, into Africa, because that's another way you can go. I never take those flights. I think like British Airways and I think American even kind of goes that way. Um, yeah, and because they partner with other airlines. I'm pretty sure that British Airways and Air France, they partner with Kenya Airways. Again, is it Kenya Airways, Kenya Airlines? I can't remember. But please, no disrespect to the Kenyan people. I love the Kenyan people. I love Kenya. Don't love the airline. I don't. But yeah, so I haven't done that, and I don't want to say made a mistake, but when I booked for the parents to travel to Kenya to meet me, they came that way. It was beneficial for me to send them that way because they are, older, and they also are not used to like this super long flight. That flight from New York to Doha, where I would change for the plane that's going to take me into East Africa, wherever I was going, that flight is like 14 hours. Doesn't bother me, right? Because I've been doing it for such a long time. But that would have been too much for them, like just way too long. So I sent them the Europe way, so they had a chance to, when they got off their plane, they had a long layover, and they were able to do a hop on hop off bus and travel through London and what have you. I think on the way back they may have gone through Paris through CDG, Charles de Gaulle Airport. But I personally haven't gone that way. But that way was only like, I want to say like 8 hours and eight or 9 hours, maybe. I maybe could have been even 10, but it was definitely not one super long flight and then a shorter flight, because I think it's, like I said, about 14 to 15 hours going into Doha from New York, and then you usually have a layover, and then the flight, I think, to get into Nairobi was about 5 hours, I think, because I've flown into Nairobi, I've flown into Zanzibar, and I've also flown into Kilimanjaro Airport. So yeah, typically 5 to 6 hours. Okay, occasionally they would have a layover in Dar es Salaam when I was going into Kilimanjaro Airport, or Zanzibar, but anywho's anyhows. I digress. All I'm saying is you need to be able to look at the options and determine what's best for you. If you know that you're going to need a break, maybe you want to go to the Europe way to get to Africa. Anywho's anyhows, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen. And like I said, think of this as your podcast right now, even though I am looking a little cute, so you might want to, be actually seeing my face through this video. I am coming to you with more information, more travels. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really focused on cruising right now. I'm doing the cruise thing because that is my mode of transportation at the moment. It's a way for me to still have some travel experience in a budget-friendly way, and it is also giving me a chance to enjoy the water. I love the water. I love the water. Insert picture of the water. Yeah, I'm just saying. When I get that edited together, that's what we'll be doing. But yeah, I love the water. So it gives me a chance to enjoy all those things. any house, I want to thank you for taking your time out. It means the world to me that I get to share my world with you. And as I always like to say, do good and no, yeah, do good and be better. Whew, do good in a way that benefits somebody else. Be better in a way that benefits you, right? Be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, and be an even better version tomorrow. Okay? Because we all works in progress. We all doing this life thing, and life be life, and what can I say? It is what it is. Until the next time, I just want to say thank you. And I look forward. Ciao for now.